with the surge of people needing a desk, I wanted to build something that was extremely simple, could be built with limited tools, that was function over form, but looks nice. If that's you, then this video is your solution to your problem. This desk can be built with these simple tools. We've got a jigsaw, sanding block, some clamps, sander, circular saw, and wood glue. You can get rid of the circular saw if you have the home store break down your plywood at the specified dimensions I've got down in the description. So let's get right into the design. All right, we're gonna start with this rough sketch of this desk, and our total width is gonna be 36 inches. Our total width is gonna be 24 inches, and our total height is gonna be 30 inches. I'm gonna add, just for a little decorative so it doesn't look so blocky, and something easy that you can do is cut a shape out of the legs on each side, and that way it adds a little form to the function. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to offset those in all the way around by 6 inches, so it forms a nice even leg. All right, now that we have a rough idea of where we're heading, let's get started. I chose to use Baltic birch plywood. The important part is that it's 3/4 of an inch. A smart thing to do would have the home store break this plywood down for you. They do that for free. So take advantage of that, especially if you have a smaller vehicle or you don't want to wrestle a 3/4 inch piece of plywood home. Another thing to note is that this piece of plywood was $60, but it will do the entire desk. And there are cheaper types of plywood out there, but since we want somewhat of a visual appeal, that's why I went with the higher grade, higher quality plywood. I chose not to use the services at the home store, honestly, because I just forgot. It would have been smart to do it. But instead, I'm going to be using this circular saw along with this straight edge to break my plywood down into the correct size. When cutting plywood with a circular saw, sometimes it has a tendency to fray the edge. So one edge is clean, we'll put that edge out where it's visible, but the other edge, you just take a sanding block. All right, so now that we've got all of our widths broken down, now we need to break down for our lengths. I got all the pieces cut up, got the 2 legs in the top here. I also cut these 2 support pieces. I'll show you what these are going to be used for here in a second. The next step is to get the wood glue out and assemble these pieces together. So these supports are going to go at the top of the legs, recessed 3/4 of an inch that the top will sit in. Sanding block. Sandpaper works, but I'm going to go over all the edges before I start assembling and just make sure there's nothing sharp and everything looks good. All right, so these support pieces are going to go on the inside of the legs. So this side is the side I want visible. This side is the inside. So I'm gonna mark 1 inch in. Just remember, we cut these 1 inch short on each end. So I've got my 1 inch in. We want this set the thickness of our plywood at 1 inch. So we're gonna mark right here, and then this piece is gonna be glued at our 1 inch mark and at our thickness of our plywood piece. Now that we got all of our pieces made, I took the top piece that we cut earlier, put the top side down on the workbench. I'm gonna take the leg and put it down like this, making sure that these are flush, the edges are flush. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put glue in this joint right here, and then we're gonna clamp it using this square. There are other clamps out there that would make this easier, but I want to make this as accessible as possible. So I'm going to show you how to use this right angle clamp to clamp this in place while it dries. All right, so these right angle would work really well. I could clamp those up, but these are like 30 bucks a piece. If you don't have the necessary tools, you just need a couple clamps. And look at this clamping pressure. Like I'm moving this pretty good, pretty hard. I can pick it up and it's not moving. So there's plenty of clamping pressure on it. We'll wait for that glue to dry. All right, so now it's time to add this support piece. It's gonna go along the back side right here. I'm gonna glue it all and tie it all in. I'm using this large clamp. I know everybody doesn't have access to one of these clamps. The alternative that you could use is you can add screws to the outside where I'm clamping and go through the ends, and then you can just fill those with wood filler and stain over top of them. I applied the first coat of polyacrylic and it's relatively smooth. I'm going to go through and smooth out any imperfections with a high grit sandpaper. I'm using 400 grit for this, just to go over it lightly, wipe off the dust after that caused from the sanding, and then I'm going to apply another coat of polyacrylic just to give this top a little more durability. This is for the people that they've never built anything. So if that's you, I hope you found this encouraging and attainable. With simple tools and a little bit of time, I think that you can have your desk solution. Everything that you need to build this desk can be found in the description below. Follow those links, they're Amazon affiliate links. I get a small kickback when you use those links. I've got a lot of other videos that you can check out right here, but that'll wrap it up for this project. I'll see you next time I'm building something in my shop.